Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope you're all having a great day today. Welcome to the next video in the Christmas in July series. And so today I'm going to be playing with a die and breaking down a little bit more out of a 12 by 12 paper pad. So, the big paper pads, breaking it down. I have a lot of them and thought, okay, I should make some. I have a lot of Christmas themed ones in particular. So I thought, okay, let me show and I'm assuming a lot of you probably have them as well. So, how do you take this ginormous thing? Let's say you used it already and created some scrapbook pages, things like that, but you have some left. You still have some pages, things like that. What am I supposed to do with these things? Like, I have people that I've done trades with, or if there's only a few left, I'll put it on a make and take table or um, yeah, just a freebie table kind of thing. At a couple of the crops that I go to, they have those kind of options, and that works well. But in the meantime, maybe I don't want to do all of that. And I've got some really nice paper that I still like the look of and can have an idea about. So that's what I'm doing with this. So the first one, so this is the card that I created, and the die that I used is this Joy die. And you can see here that it has this cutout. And I have seen this in Joy. I have also seen one that says Noel, where the O is open. And I have also just recently seen a love one. Now, I don't know who makes them. I just know they've been coming across my feed. And so the O is this open piece. And I thought, this was the idea that I had, is that then I could use like a one of my nesting circle dies, or probably could just cut it out as well, but find one that matches the size of this O. And then I can have like using the coordinating paper, because it's from the same paper pad, so I know it will work, but I can cut out something that can go in the center and have that kind of be the focal point. So that is what I have been doing. So I'll just kind of show you how I work that out here a little bit. So this is the paper that I'm going to use for the card that I'm going to create on screen here. So it has this background. That was one of the 12 by 12s. This is one of the cut aparts, which is sometimes difficult to think about. The one that I'm going to show you, the image, came off of, all right, kind of getting this in the screen here, was one of these giant 12 by 12 sheets that it's like, okay, well, how am I supposed to use this for a card? Because you don't necessarily want to, well, split the Santa's face, not great. But the scallops and things like that, how am I going to use that? So that's what I'm going to show here. So those are the pieces that came off, or the extras that I'm not going to need. But on here, so what I did is I went through my scrapbook paper and found some cut aparts and things like that. And I took my die. So I took this one, or also the other thing that you can do too is pull this out and hold it over top and see what it will actually cut out. So for example, I was looking at this snow is glistening. But when I hold that in there, you can see that it kind of cuts it off. Plus, there isn't anything over top or below. It doesn't give me a good image. Um, but I could have used on here. So we're happy tonight. That's not bad. I can make that work so that it's actually legible, right? Like that's not too bad on there. The other image that I was thinking too that would be really nice for a nice winter one is this stag right down here. So I can move that up so that I get some of, like, I don't have to see his whole body. I don't need to know that. And the recipient doesn't need to see the whole body to understand that that is a stag head kind of thing. So I can move it up here, cutting off part of the neck, but then I get more of the silver on the antlers. So that would be the image that would be cut out and then become the center point. So that would be kind of nice as well. All right. Even some of these, well, that tree, see how it comes down. So this is another example of one that would not necessarily work, is I have the trees here. The trees would be really nice if it came a little further down, but now it cuts into the snowflake and the gray here. So that, that's not the end of the world. That could be kind of an interesting image, having that kind of grounding in that circular point. This is another place you could also make this part into a shaker card too. Could do that. See, that's kind of nice as well. Nice. So that's how I went about deciding that. So I'm going to show you then how I did this. So that was how I came across the process and my thought process in making the card, for example. Okay, so this is what it is. So I am starting off. This is I want to say that this is I don't remember what the name of this size of card is, but it's 5 inches by 6.5. Yeah, 6.5 by 5 inches. So it's a little bigger than a standard A2 size. However, this will fit onto an A2 size card. This particular one, I'll just show you here. I'll pull this out. This is a darker color, but this will fit onto an A2. You just don't have as much. So if you wanted to keep this really nice and simple, you could cut out word just like this. You don't even have to put it on pattern paper. You could just cut this out, have that on there, call that good, right? Cut it out of some nice pattern paper. This would be really pretty. This joy, just like this on just on some white right there. Easy peasy. Now you could do this, cut this out, have it on the, like a nice paper or something. I could do pattern paper as well, similar to what I did with the polka dots here. And do joy. And then if you have a sub sentiment, you could go to the world, or to the world in the center part here, or could do wishing you joy, wishing you joy. Okay. Other options there. Okay. So you don't have to go into all of this, even with just something as simple as this. And maybe you don't have this particular big die. What else do you have that you could cut out something similar? What do you have in your stash that will fit onto a card panel or something like that, in a similar fashion? Okay. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but something that is similar. Okay, so this was the example that I already created. So now what I want to do is I'm going to put together the other card that I was going to create here. I'm hoping that this will actually go quite quickly. So to start with and give it some time to adhere, I have cut down my paper. This is going to be my background paper. So it's this really lovely plaid with a little bit of gold embossing on it, or gold foil on it. It's quite nice. I did take a moment to go around and kind of darken the edges and add a little bit of chalk to give it some distressing or that kind of thing. So now I'm just going to adhere this down. To the side. And so I cut down my card front here to, let's get that over a little bit. Because I was using a 12 by 12 pad, my my card base is 6.5. But because I wanted to get two pieces out of this, I made this. So typically I would go 6.25 inches in length by 4.75 inches. But because I wanted to get two pieces out of this, so this is 6 inches by, I want to say 4.5, in order to get 4.5, so that I could have, basically I trimmed it down about a half an inch all the way around, so that I would have a half inch, quarter inch border, quarter-inch border, quarter-inch border on each side here. Okay, just to have it be even. I could have cut it to 6.25 and then 5.75, but I thought that would be a little kind of having it off kilter. So in order to have a nice even framing around, that is what I decided I wanted to do. So that's what I did. Okay, so now what I've done, so as I said, I had gone through and looked at the images and thought, okay, what can I get that will fit really nicely in this little hoop, right? In the little, oh, and I thought that would be a really lovely image to get this kind of this Santa on there. And I thought that would be really, really cute. So that's what I've done. And that's what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this out. I thought about pre-cutting this, but I thought you guys might want to see my thought process on how I got to this point and why I decided to do it that way. So I'm just going to add a little bit more tape on here. I'm going to run it through my die cut machine. Okay. Now, if you don't have a die cut machine, you could certainly cut this out, trim it down yourself. You don't have to use a die cut. I have a die cut and I want to make it, I want to make it nice and even kind of all the way around. So that'll be good. Just quickly run this through here. Pop that out. That, and then I'll show you, there's another one that I'm going to be making as well, which is why I wanted two of this background, is because I want to use this puppy in there as well. But look at how cute. So I'm not going to use the happy holidays. I might cut that off and actually put that on the inside of the card, but look at how well that frames out of that. So what it would actually look like is that on the inside of my card. How cute, right? So yeah, thinking outside of different, that's what you want to do is you want to look at your items that you have and think, okay, what if I don't necessarily need to use it exactly as it's displayed there. How can I bring a different life to it? So now I could keep this, use some of the paper and stuff like that, but it's unlikely that I will. So I'm going to turf that. I'm not going to hang on to that. But yeah, look at your images. What kind of things can you make work? And look in a different way. Explore it. Okay, so what I've done is I had already cut this out of my red metallic paper here, some cardstock, and then I cut it out again in some black cardstock. So I've already stuck one down. But this is again, this is how you could make this a shaker card is instead of sticking this, I could do some acetate in here between the layers, put some acetate in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere this here, and then I'm going to add the last layer of the black. So I want to add just a little bit of dimension. Because again, it's a fairly simple card. So you can see here, I have a little bit of popped up. So without having to use foam tape, I'm just using the letters. So I cut this 3 times, top in the pattern paper, and then I cut it 2 more times out of white and put that together to give it a little bit more depth. So what I want to do is I'm going to stick my Santa in there. So what I'm going to do is take some liquid adhesive and I'm going to do this along the bottom or along the back side. So then I am going to take this and I'm going to squidgy it into place, figuring out where I want it to be, making sure that it's covered all the way from behind, that I don't have any holes showing through. Okay. Like that. I'm getting a little bit of adhesive on the back of my thumbs, which is fine. That's not the end of the world. And then from here, what I'm going to do is I want to sandwich that white disc now in between my last layers, the layers that are up top here, and then the last layer of my the last black die cut that I cut out. So I'm just going to add some liquid adhesive here. And I'm going to pop this on and zhuzh it into place. Kind of squidgy it, which is the nice thing about using liquid adhesive is that you have a moment or two to kind of jig it into place, making sure that your edges line up. If it doesn't line up perfectly, that's not the end of the world. It will just look like you have a bit of a shadow. It gives it a different level of dimension. I'm gonna wipe up that little bit of adhesive that I have there. So I'm just gonna pop that under these blocks here for just a second, not long. Just make sure that my layers of adhesive are adhesiving. It's not a word, but it's coming together. Look at how cute that is. So basically I've just made my own embellishment without having to worry about the other things that are in there. So I'm going to pop that onto my card front just like this. Geez, this video is going pretty quick. I might have time to do the second card while you guys are here watching. Neat. Okay, so now I'm just going to grab a little bit of liquid adhesive here. Catch the edges. Now, where is roughly centered? That. Is it pretty straight? Nope, just jigged a little high there. Okay, like that. There we go. That down. All righty. Still a little crooked, but that's okay. So now what I'm going to do is get my blocks on here to kind of, again, have my adhesive make a good connection with my cardstock. So that is really nice and simple. And I'm going to pop on a couple of little flat back pearls here. We'll move this guy, and I'm using the gold. I could use red as well, but I'm going to use the gold because I want it to tie in with the gold foil that is already on the paper here. Okay. Oh no. Oh, okay. Oh, I just shot that right off there. So there you can come back. There we go. Another one. This one. And I'm going to keep it an uneven number, so I'm just going to do 5. Like so. Back into here. Okay. So even though I did a lot of the prep, as many steps as I could, and still be able to give you guys like an idea of how this came together and whatnot. I did that beforehand, but it didn't take long. I started this and I made the full example one, and then did the cutting of these guys. I mean, I'm talking half an hour, maybe, and including like getting online, etc., pulling pieces and coming together and putting it together. So there we go. Done. Let's whip through another one. Okay. So really quickly, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cut out and stick these together. So let's pull. Okay. Let me catch the little guy's face here. Out. And we will run this through the die cut machine. How's everybody coming along with your holiday cards? Are you starting? Are you somebody who starts early? I have so many that I have to make. Plus I do the videos. So it's nice to get a good jump on them. So I'm, kind of utilizing this time to get it to kind of get started on them. Plus I have been helping out with kind of a charity, not a charity, just a charitable cause or whatever, where I help make cards, etc., throughout the year, but also Christmas cards for seniors and hospitals and stuff like that in our area, which it's nice. So it feels really great to kind of give that back and be able to do that. So again, I've already cut this out. I've got it. I did it 2 times in black plus the red foil. So I'm going to stick this in between. So where I want to start out with is adhering. Puppy. Sure that I get that in the spot that I would like it to be. That. Okay. You happy with that? A little bit of adhesive on my fingers, but that's okay. So now what I want to do is, and now I'm gonna fit that last black die cut, the Joy. I'm going to get that in here, make sure that it's adhering. And then we'll be able to kind of put these together to give the adhesive a moment to come together. Put that in there like so. Squidgy. So if you found, so for example, that love die that I was discussing, this would be a great idea to do like for Valentine's Day or a wedding. That would be really cute to do love and then like some wedding bells or something like that in the center. That would be really lovely. Or Mr. and Mrs. or Mr. and Mr., Mrs. that kind of thing, depending on the occasion. Okay, so I'm going to put that here and have these guys sitting on here for a momento. Put that here, like so. And I brought cardstock here, got my card base, and I've got my base that I already pre-cut as well. But something else that you could do this with, if you don't have this particular die or a die similar to that, what could work is maybe you have some really large alphabet dies, because I have also seen those where they've got like a really decent size. Oh, you're too far over, green. Pull it back, pull it back, pull it back. Didn't go near street. Yeah, that's much better. Um, where they've got like really like 3 or 4 inch letters, right? And obviously on a card, it's really difficult to get a lot of a sentiment on there. So you would want to keep it to 3 or 4. So using the word love, Noel, joy would be really good options. And how big is the O in that kind of scenario as well? Maybe you have those kind of dies already at home where you've got the like I said, the alphabet dies. That's a possibility, right? A lot of people have those. So cute. Love a puppy. Alrighty. And let's do this. Make sure I've got a good, doesn't have to be a ton, but I do want a good amount of adhesive because I don't gluing the layers together of the separate die cuts. Usually you don't need too much adhesive on that, but in order to make sure that this isn't gonna pop off of my frame and off, or sorry, off of my card, I do want to make sure that I'm getting a good contact, basically. So I want a decent amount of adhesive there. This would help if I would straighten out my card there. Okay. And I'll put these guys back on there. Adhesive connect. There we go. Okay, so let's pop. So because now I could do a red foil, but I think I want to pop in again, similar. I'm going to use the gold um, flat back pearls because I want to have, I like to bring out the gold that's already in there, the gold foil that's in the background. So let's see, is that a little guy? And once you've kind of gotten your the design down of what you like and how you want to work with it, this becomes uh pretty quick in terms of the design of the card because you've already got the design. So now it's just about cutting down the elements of chopping up your paper, doing your die cutting so that you've got the joy and the or whatever it is that you're using, whatever sentiment or word you're going to use, having that, and then away you go. So this could actually be really easy to um do steps to have a like a mass produce, which also then makes it good for Christmas. Or because a lot of people, it's not like a one-off birthday card. You could do that for that, but when you're doing, usually when you're talking something like Christmas, those tend to be high. Oh, random back pearl there. They tend to be ones where you need a lot of cards. And so if you're somebody who likes to have things similar. They don't have to be all exactly the same because you probably wouldn't have enough images or whatever for that out of a 12 by 12. But you can get the general gist of it and have them all like this would be really nice to make also like a gift card set if you wanted to have them kind of coordinating, not exactly the same, but coordinating. This would work really well for that because you have the paper pad of everything that kind of goes together already, right? Um, yeah, but you've got the basic design for it, so it makes it much easier to go forward without having to change your plan or adapt and whatever too many times. Right? Okay. And that one is finished. So I don't know how long I've been going on here, but it feels like it's been about a half an hour. So I had 2 cards, plus I finished the other one. So in less than an hour for prep and everything, which you guys didn't catch all of that, obviously, but I was able to get 2 cards done on screen and another one that was set and get this all ready to have 3 cards done. Yeah. Sorry. So I am loving this. Like, so really good use of the background paper, nice fun pop on there, a little bit of shine, easy peasy. Like I don't even have just, and then on the inside, a simple stamp of wishing you a Merry Christmas. I can still trim out this happy holidays and I could actually put that on the inside of the card as my sentiment. right? So that makes that really nice and simple. So there are three examples of utilizing taking a die, not necessarily using it in the way that you think, but also then how do I utilize some of the paper that I've got sitting around? Because I don't know, but I have a lot of paper sitting around. So I'm really happy with how these guys turned out, changing out what it thinking a little bit outside of the box of how do I use the images and things that are in my paper pads instead of having to cut up the square block or what do I do with these ginormous pieces that I'm not going to be using in a 12 by 12 page or something like that. I'm not using it for scrapbooking now. How do I make it and turn it into a useful card? And I thought these turned out really great. I'm really happy with them. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's going to be the video for today and enjoyed the class. Please remember to, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We have a few new members that have subscribed. So welcome to you guys. It's really nice to have you here. Thank you so much. Please, by all means, put a comment down below if you have any questions or what you thought of the video. Do you have another die or a suggestion of something that you can change it out, maybe not utilizing it in the way that it was specifically shown, but how to change out what that can look like? By all means, what other things would you have and in your stash that you could use? Please put that in the comments below. Yeah, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and click the notification bell so that you're notified when I post a new video. But new videos come out every second Wednesday. July, there'll be one every Wednesday. That's going to be it. Also, if you do find that you are enjoying my class length videos and would like to support or put anything towards the channel, my Buy Me a Coffee link will be in the description. Just click the read more tab there and it will pop up the link for that. That's going to be it for today, guys. Again, I'm hoping you're having a great day. Let me know if there's anything else that I can show you, and we will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Thanks so much.